see this here. Mhm. No, date video. No me entra. No baja. Ujú. Un poquito de esto. Okay, so we have this one here. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. Today, we have a special watch market update for you people out there. We have an unbelievable watch market update. Sweet Kikino has prepared something for me that's unbelievable that I must share with you guys, and I will do that exactly because you know who the brains is no other than Sweet Kikino to me, Joaquin to you. Unbelievable. We have an unbelievable watch market update as well, ladies and gentlemen. But before I get into all that, I just want to ask all of you that if you want to cooperate with this channel, you may do so by subscribing to our channel, liking our video, or maybe sharing your video with one of your buddies from the office. Maybe you want to do that to help us out. I mean, the rest you can save it so you can give it away to one of your Muppet Boiler Room secondary great watch market channels and dealers. But we need your help, and the help we want from you guys is to like our video, give it a thumbs up, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, we always try to tell you in this channel the truth and nothing but the truth, no matter what we do. Scouts honor, we try to give you the truth. And I want to start by telling you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by telling you that we have a lot of imposters, doing a crossover, to our side. Like the gentleman that he's out of New York City, he's out of New York City. I call him Uncle Johnny, Uncle Johnny. He's kind of a little chubby, you know, chubby figure. He's unbelievable. And he's all over social media now, all the platforms saying that the watch market is dead. You know, I've been saying the watch market is dead for the last 2 years and a half, but suddenly, after he flim flammed all of you, after he flim flammed and fleeced you out of your children's tuition money and out of your 401k, he's doing a crossover to my side. He's joining our side, and he's up there, publicly hanging around with the toddler body brothers, hanging around with the subway train jumper, on 47th Street, Sinbad and the genie, the genie with the skin tight hair and the man bun in the back. He wears, clover bracelets, woman's clover bracelets. My daughter, my wife has that, but he puts them all on. It's unbelievable. So now they're saying now, this gentleman, Uncle Johnny. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, you Google it, because I'm not going to tell you, and neither is Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you. We're not going to tell you. But this flim flammer, after he fleeced you, after he spoofballed you, after he hoodwinked you, now he's turning and telling you guys out there that the watch market is dead. That it's all a story. You know who's been telling you this story for the last 2 years and a half? Me. I said it wrong. Sweet Kid Kino. Sweet Kid Kino's been doing this hard labor for you guys. For you recovering tomato cans. You guys are a bunch of tomato cans, recovering tomato cans. But we love and care about you. That's right. We love and care about you. So now you have this flim flammer now. He's unbelievable. He looks like a hog. A hog, one of those hogs. I want to call him Uncle Johnny the Hog. It's unbelievable. And he's out there now on all the platforms. And he's even talking about, he even did a little sidekick with the two toddler body brothers from Miami talking about bust down watches. You know what a bust down watch is worth today? Don't pay more than 10 cents to the dollar. Don't pay more than 10 cents to the dollar. No matter what watch brand it is. The watch market is dead. But that's that new kid, that new guy, Uncle Johnny, the hog. He's like a little hog, a little hog. He's unbelievable. And he's out there saying all these things now that the watch market is dead. After he gave you the logo, after he busted you up, he's telling you now that the watch market is dead. I've been telling you for 2 years and a half, but they were flim flamming all of you out there. You guys were giving away your children's tuition money, giving away your 401k, and you're almost about to give your wife's 401k, But we stopped you from that. We stopped you. You know why we stopped you? Because we're stupid like that, Because we like to help crumb bums, mashuganas, You know what I'm trying to say, manishma. Manishma? Manishma to all of you out there, manishma. Because we do hard work for you guys. We do special hard work for all of you out there. And what do we get, Kevin? We get the logo. We get it deep, deep, deep. I mean, you guys do whatever you want, but you have this new flim flammer. From 47th Street. He hangs around with the subway train jumper. With Sinbad. With the genie. And now he's saying that the watch market is dead. That there's no more. He's even using my lines, ladies and gentlemen. It's an embarrassment. And you guys should be embarrassed because you guys watch him and you admire him and you clap for him. He's even saying my catchphrases that there's no more SBA loans out there. No more PPP loans out there. That's right. No more government grants out there. The story is over. This is what he's telling you guys. But who's been the one doing this homework for the last 2 years and a half? Sweet Kid Kino. That's right. Kino to me, Joaquin to you. Don't you dare call him Kino. Don't you dare call him Kino. His name is Joaquin. I'm the only one that can call him Sweet Kid Kino. That's right. The only one. Because you guys been hopping around through life like rabbits. Not even rabbits no more. You guys are a bunch of bunny rabbits. You know what a bunny rabbit is? That's what you guys are, bunny rabbits. You guys are unbelievable, and I'm still working hard for you guys. And what do me and Sweet Kid Kino get? We get this. This is what we get. That's right, because you guys want to keep on helping. You know who? The hungry hippo, Mr. Magoo. The Walrus fat bastard. Boxing Deputy Black Eyes. You know, with his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket with the Chia Pet spraying can hair. Unbelievable. What do we get? Nothing we get. But that's fine. That's fine. That's how it is. El que nace pa martillo, del cielo le caen los clavos. And if you don't understand what I say, you Google it. Because I'm not going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm fed up. I'm fed up and I ain't going to take it no more. Let me have a little bit of jungle juice here. Está fuerte. Strong. Kind of strong. Está muy fuerte. So you understand what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. You have that mashugana. You know that mashugana. Uncle Johnny, the hog. You know Uncle Johnny, the hog. He's telling you guys all over whatever platform he can get in. TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is. Instagram, whatever it is. He's all over the place saying now that the watch market is dead. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on. Unbelievable. I leave you with that note. Again, his name is Uncle Johnny the Hog. That's all I got to tell you guys. That's all I got to tell you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something else that nobody would dare to tell you, but I will. I will, because I am this kind of a person. You know? I mean, with the help of Sweet Kid Kino. He's the one that prepares me. Kino's the brains of this channel, and I am the voice of this channel. The voice. I got some news for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. After this China situation with watches, things are not looking good. Things are not looking good out there. Listen and learn, ladies and gentlemen. Listen and learn. I want to tell you there's a watch brand. And you guys are going to say the word, the watch brand is a dog with fleas. Nobody buys that watch. But to all your surprise, I've been saying this for the last 6 months quietly in the corner. Wow, they just keep on buying this watch brand. Buying and buying and buying and buying. Right now, a watch that you need to keep your eyes open because they were buying it dirt cheap out there and now they're selling it. I mean, you won't believe what they're asking for a Cartier Panther Mini. A Cartier Panther Mini, you know, small little mini watch. They're asking for that watch $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. Right now, Cartier, right now, at this moment, I'm going to dare to tell myself, to tell you guys out there that Cartier right now, numero uno. Cartier. That's right, Cartier. And not only Cartier watches, but Cartier jewelry is going all the way up. All the way up. All the way up is going, ladies and gentlemen. All the way up. They won't tell you. They won't tell you. But me and Sweet Kid Kino will tell you. That's right. You know that Uncle Johnny, Uncle Johnny, the hog. He won't tell you, but now he's saying that the watch market is dead. But that watch, that Cartier Panther, the tank, the bottom blue, anything that's Cartier is hot. Hot commodity, ladies and gentlemen. So get yourself, if you have a wife, if you have a girlfriend, if you have a fiance, if you have a side chick, it's the moment to start buying your Cartier jewelry or watches. I'm telling you, I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody is ever going to tell you what we tell you in this channel. Nobody. Nobody's ever going to tell you. We're going to tell you always because we are stupid like that. We are Meshuggahs. Me and Kino are Meshuggahs. That's right. And you guys out there are a bunch of crumb bums. You know what you guys are? Ustedes son un bunch of lambones. 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 Okay? So remember, Cartier watches are going all the way up. All the way up, ladies and gentlemen. They're going all the way up. I'm just telling you what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I got something else to tell you. We had a gentleman, a real important collector, that he is a subscriber to this channel. And he has many, many watches. And we spoke. We had I would say a 15, 20-minute conversation over the phone. And it was a very nice conversation. And he was telling me that he has a lot of safe queens. Safe queens in their vault. He's a gentleman that has put many watches away in his vault. And we call those people that have those watches, listen and learn, ladies and gentlemen. Listen and learn. We call that safe queens. They put it away, the watch. And when you put those watches away inside, you're safe. That beautiful safe queen, for 10, 15, 20 years, this watch is not getting no light. This watch is not getting no air. Something happens, with the chemicals. Gold is mixed up. The watches of gold, they're mixed up with different chemicals, I don't know if you know this, but I'll tell you because I'm stupid like that. I'll tell you, I got to tell you all these things. They won't tell you, but we will. They'll never tell you, but we will because we're stupid like that, So what happens is when you put a yellow gold, let's say a Daytona, a yellow gold Daytona, yellow gold, beautiful, from the 70s, 73, 74, 75, 76. When you put that watch inside a safe, the watch suddenly starts getting a tarnish, a tarnish look, tarnish. It gets a patina. You know what a patina is? I bet you guys don't know what a patina is because you guys are hopping around through life like rabbits. That's why you don't know what a patina is. But I'm going to tell you, it gets a patina, a color, of the gold. And that gold that I'm going to talk to you about, it changes from yellow. Listen and learn. So when you sit down and you talk with somebody that knows about watches, you can also act like you know about watches. That yellow gold Rolex Daytona from the 70s, it changes from a tarnish, yellow, from yellow to tarnish, it becomes like a rose gold. You understand that? Do you understand that? Just give me a thumbs up or give me a logo, whatever you want to do. Give me a logo. It becomes, it's unbelievable. It becomes like a rose gold because that's the chemical, the patina in there, not breathing, no light. So what I'm going to tell you is if you have that trouble, you don't have a trouble. You have a good trouble because don't touch that watch. Do not give it any kind of polish. When you're in the mall, and they try to sell you the bottle so you can clean your watches. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's an art. That's Picasso, Van Gogh, Monet, Joan Miró. It's an unbelievable. Don't touch your watch. You understand? And also you're gonna get some kind of patina on the dial. The looms, Don't mess around with the looms, leave them alone. It's unbelievable. The watch just goes all the way up in pricing. Don't do that. Don't touch it. Now, I'm gonna tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. When you have a rose gold watch, and you put it away in a safe, it's a safe queen. You put it in there. No, Kino. No te meta, Kino. No te meta. Pero, coño, si le estoy dando una explicación a esta gente, no te meta, Kino. A mí no me importa. Que lo sepan. Si ellos son unos lambones. Ellos todos son unos lambones. Ya, no te metas. Don't get involved. No te pongas bravo. If you have a rose gold watch and you have it as a safe queen and you put it there, that rose gold watch, it doesn't matter if it's a Rolex, AP, Patek, whatever it is. But in this case, we're going to talk about Rolex. Rolex. So you put that Rolex away in there. And some years go by, that rose gold gets tarnished. And you're not going to believe what color. I'm going to give this, I'm going to give you guys an exam. So when you put in, I already told you the yellow one, the yellow gold gets tarnished and it becomes rose gold. You know that part already. Now you put in a rose gold and it gets tarnished. What color would that rose gold become? No saben, papi, si son unos huele bicho. No saben nada. Jumbo juice. Come on, tell me. Come on, guys. Yeah, green, red, like when green, red, those statues of bronze, they become green, right? That gentleman is saying something correct. They do, they're bronze and they become green. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what the rose gold will become when it gets tarnished. Nobody knows, right? Remember, we're dealing with chemicals, and all these things, these metals, to get these colors. Anyway, ellos no saben, están perdidos, están en la paja. There you go, mira para eso, cacabrón. Eso está bien, papi, muy bien, excelente. It becomes, the rose gold will become yellow gold. Okay? So now you know two things, Exactly, copper, zinc, all that good stuff. This man here, this man retired, he is unbelievable. You need to listen to what he says. Retire is unbelievable. He's un hombre brillante. He's brilliant, Exactly. Copper, zinc, all that good stuff goes in that and they mix it up. And that's what happens that you get from yellow, it becomes rose gold. And from rose gold, it becomes yellow gold. So you guys know that now. And to the gentleman that was asking me all those questions, I hope this helps you out. And if you want to know further more about this, get in contact with Mr. Retired and Broke. He'll tell you more about it. These people know more than me. These people know more than me. I know, Pop. I went to visit my grandchildren. I had to go see them. I have a little 4-month-old little boy that I had to go see. I'm sorry, but I got you. I know who you are. I got you. Tú eres uno de los míos, papi. Anyway, guys, I have something else that I want to talk to you guys about. And you guys need to hear these things because. I spoke to you guys about vintage watches, and some people have left me different messages, emails, and all that. And the question they all ask me is, how correct are vintage watches? And I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, like they say, is a vintage watch 100% correct? Well, I gotta tell you, saludo, papá, saludo. I gotta tell you that they're basically, let's say a Rolex Daytona, a Rolex Daytona. What happens is when those Daytonas, stopped working in the 60s, in the 70s, or they had, some kind of stains on the dial, they would send a watch to Rolex. And back then, nobody knew nothing about this. They would send the Rolex Daytona, this white dial, right, panned up, and it had a little stain. And instead of staying with the watch, what they did was Rolex would give you a replacement dial. Or if the hand stack, the hands, the hour, minute, seconds, whatever you call it, they got rusty and all that, they will take out that hand stack and give you a replacement hand stack dials. Do you follow what I'm trying to tell you? So what I'm trying to tell you is, I gotta be honest with all of you. All of you that are vintage watch collectors, in particular Rolex watches, because this is where the worst flim-flamming happens. It happens with Rolex watches. You understand me? It happens with Rolex watches. So what happens is there's a lot of parts in that watch that have been replaced. They are real, authentic Rolex parts. But the watch was born with this dial, with this hand stack, rotor, etc., 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 and they gave you a replacement. So that watch right there is not 100% correct. It's not. It has a replacement dial, replacement hands, replacement, bracelet, whatever it is replacement. So to answer your question about vintage watches, if they are 100% accurate, if they're 95% accurate, I'm gonna be honest. Basically, they have. This is just what I believe. You guys do whatever you want, boy. Yo soy un lambón. Yo también soy un lambón como ustedes. Yo soy un lambón. But if you want to know the truth, when you go to those things, those auctions of vintage watches, like when they got the guy with the conjure, the flim flam, they got him, $700,000 en el orto, en el orto, deep, 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 deep. I gotta tell you that if you think the watch you're buying, a Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold, is 100% correct, I got news for you. And if you don't want to hear this, get out of the room, malta así las orejas, monkey see, monkey, all that stuff, the monkey stuff. I'm going to tell you, you're buying a 50% original and a 50%, dials, hands, bracelets, whatever bezel, it was, replaced by Rolex. Okay? So right there, that watch is not 100%. I'm telling you what it is. You guys don't want to hear this, but you're going to hear it because we're stupid like that. Papi, tengo 58 organic subscribers, 32 thumbs up. It's unbelievable. No tenemos ni una peseta, ¿ok? Ya, no me preguntes más, que eso es lo que hay. Este es el canal más cojonudo que hay. Trabajamos de gratis. Nosotros trabajamos aquí de gratis porque somos unos huele-huele. Somos unos huele-huele. That's what it is. Now, going back to the vintage Frankensteins. You have all these watches out there, GMT, Submariners, all this, a 5513, this, that, 55, no sé qué, all these reference, 1675, for Pepsi, all that. Man, those watches, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a lot of original parts from different watches. From different watches. And those are Frankensteins. And maybe you're even going to find a couple of pieces from China. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but you have to hear the truth. You're even going to find a couple of parts from China. I'm letting you know what's going on, sir. I hope you don't feel offended. I don't care if you spend it $2 million on a watch. I don't care if you spend it $5 million on a watch. That world is full of flim-flammers. Damon, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much, Damon. I appreciate that, Papa. Thank you very much. To all of you, thank you so much. So, if you bought those watches for $700,000, I'm going to give it to you. Deep, I'm going to give it to you. Papa, you're getting flim-flam. Flim-flam. Man, the only way you can get one of those vintage watches, it has to be they have never touched it. It's never seen a service center from Rolex. Everything is original on the watch. Everything. Whatever you can think, everything. That's the only way. Now, if you're buying those watches like that, where it happened over there, Legends of Monaco, where they got people with, Tiffany and Cole, and they got people over there with so many things, with the John Player special, that dial is all fugazi, papi. Let me tell you, and I'll say it loud and clear. If you think they are hoodwinkers, and hucksters in the modern contemporary, you don't have an idea who the ones that are working over there in the vintage world, papi. You don't have an idea. Ustedes no saben. Ustedes son lambones. Ustedes no saben. And I can't keep on telling you too much because it's not going to go nowhere. Thank you very much, Christopher, for the super chat. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you very, very much. You're not going to believe me. But this is how it is, papi. You're buying these watches and they're not. Don't matter what they tell you, they're not 100%. Even the ones that come with parts from Rolex, from Rolex, it ain't no more 100%. It ain't no more. They're not going to tell you that. Raccoon Eyes is not going to tell you that. Raccoon Eyes won't tell you this, but I will because I'm stupid like that. I'm stupid like that. I got to tell you the truth. And you might be saying, oh my God, what is he saying? No, I'm telling you the truth. If you buy a Rolex Daytona from the 70s, from the 60s, you're you're buying a watch that 50% is original and the other 50% has been replacement parts. A spring, a spring, a rotor, a screw, a bracelet. You guys don't want to hear that. You guys want to keep on hearing the lie. But I can't lie to you because I'm stupid like that. I can't lie to you. Thank you very much, Papa. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that, F. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Kino, no te quiero decir nada, pero coño, se han portado los muchachos hoy tremendo. Tremendo. Y no te quiero hablar más nada. No, no, no. No te metas, no te metas, no te metas. So you have to know the truth because they're not going to tell you the truth. But I will. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a thorn. I'm a thorn. En el orto. En el orto. I'm a thorn. I'm a thorn. I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you. So if you're looking to buy those watches, they ask you where you heard this from. You heard it from Sweet Kino. He's the brains and I'm the voice. I'm letting you know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm letting you know what's going on. I tell you that I'm going to show you things and I show you things. Yo te lo enseño, yo te enseño. I show it to you right here, like I'm going to show you today. Ladies and gentlemen, I have told you that many times these people, they're selling watches and parts, bezels, dials, bracelets, all that good stuff are being used in second and third parties. And ladies and gentlemen, it is sad to see I put today on my thumbnail. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. If you did look at my thumbnail, you saw something there that is shameful to see that these people, these flim-flammers, are putting all these, watches that are made and produced in China in a platform like Amazon. You have their Pateks, you have their Rolex, you have their APs, they're selling there. I've told you that this is happening, but you guys are hopping around through life and not believing what's happening in front of you. It's happening in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. These people are selling watches like you won't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. People are getting fleeced and flim-flam. People don't know what to do no more. People don't know what to do no more and what to believe. I want you to know something, ladies and gentlemen. I really want you to know this from the bottom of my heart. Esa situación, that situation with China, that, they took up the curtain on the situation of watches. Let me tell you, for you to trust a watch today is going to be really hard for you. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be really hard. I'm going to show you something today that somebody sent me this, and it's incredible to see what these people can do. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to dare to show you this. Well, let me know when you're ready. This is a factory from over there. Take a look-see at this, Papa. Take a look-see at that. Come on, take a look-see at that, Papi. Take a look-see at this. You know why I'm showing you this? Because I'm stupid like that. Because I'm a monkey. I'm showing you this. This is it. What do you do? They ask me, what do you do? Man, you can get one of these perfect, I don't know, man. This is scary. Papi, this is scary stuff. These people, they son artistas. Look at this. Look at this. But I'm going to look at that right there. You guys know what movement that is? Nah, you guys don't know what movement that is. You see, that movement you saw there is one of the most important movements in the Rolex line. One of the most important movements in the Rolex line. You know, one of the most important movements. And when I show you this movement, you go, oh my God. You know, there's a movement which is called the 3135. And that movement has been, look at that, he already put it there. Wow. Dr. Evil just put it there. The 3135, when you see this movement, you go, wow. The 3135, come on guys, get with the program. 3135 is one of the most used movement Rolex has. Submariners, all that good stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Dr. Evil. You know what I'm talking about, Dr. Evil. But they don't know, porque they're crumb bums. Son lambones. Son lambones. I come to give you free classes. And when you see this, you're going to go, this can't be true. Well, here it goes. Look at that date wheel. Look at that date wheel. Son unos salvajes. Son unos salvajes. They're savages. They're savages, ladies and gentlemen. They're savages. What they're doing to us, what they're doing to us, it's a crime, a hate watch crime. It's a hate watch crime. Esto es un crimen de odio. Kino, no te metas. Es un crimen de odio, Kino. Es un crimen. I don't know how Dr. Evil knows that. He even put it at 3135. Papi, we're talking about a movement that's been around since, I want to use my intelligence for real, but it's been around since the late 80s. How's that? 88, 88, 89. And it's been a movement that is still in service. You know, like the 747. 747 is still in service. The same thing. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And I can show you more. And I can keep on showing you more. I told you that in Watches and Wonders was on April the 2nd, I believe. And on the 3rd, I was getting already videos and pictures of the Rolex Oyster Flex yellow gold with the blue, I don't know, turquoise blue, Tiffany blue dial. Papi, it's scary. It's scary. With the same movement that this Rolex has. The same movement, papi. Papi, these people son el diablo. Son el diablo. And now, it's like a plague. Es como una plaga. It's like a plague. It's all over the place now. I told you about Amazon, and you guys were scratching your head. That can't be true. That can't be true. I just put there a thumbnail so you can see it. Today I showed you the way they're doing those movements. Papi, these people have the same machineries. The same machineries. I'm not telling you to buy these watches. You think I'm telling you to buy these watches? Cono coma mierda. I'm telling you this so you can take care of your 401k and you don't get fleeced and you don't get flim-flam. Ladies and gentlemen, there's not a channel like this one, papi. I'm sorry to tell you guys, there is not a channel like this one, papa. This is the number one. This is the number one organic watch channel in the world. People flock to come and see me talk. Unbelievable. Yo soy muy inteligente. I'm telling you, what's going on out there is crazy, papi. Nobody will dare tell you this. You know what they say about me? The only SOB. You know what SOB is? The only SOB that would dare say all this is that Moshugana from Opus in Time. Papi, there's people out there, they have sent me emails thanking me what I'm doing. Am I going to be able to stop all this? I'm never going to be able to stop all this. Never. I'm never. But I'll stop a couple of you from getting this. I'll stop a couple of you. And then the rest of you will keep on, talking about it. I'm telling you what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I have videos there of Qingjing. Qingjing is like the Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley over there en San Francisco. Allá arriba en San Francisco, Silicon Valley, donde está tipo ese de Google y Mark Zuckerberg y toda esa gente. You know what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm trying to say. Maybe I don't know how to say it well, but I tried. Xinjiang, look at that. Damon already talking to me already. Damon, Mr. Premium, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Over there, the Silicon Valley, and Xinjiang is the Silicon Valley. Listen and learn, so you can talk to your lawyer friend. Your entrepreneur friend. I don't know, whatever it is. You know what you're talking, Papi. You're just not walking around, like a monkey. These cockroaches are unbelievable, Papa. This in Xinjiang, I do not know how many factories are there, but I'm telling you, they have state-of-the-art machinery. These motherfroggers, they do their own machines. They don't need this. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that's going to blow you away. They did the Rolex Sprite with the green and black bezel, the green dial, and white gold with an oyster bracelet. Oyster bracelet. You know what I'm talking about. The new release over there, in Watches and Wonder. They already have it already. Now, I ask myself, how do they know? Ask yourself that question. Remember when they first did the Rolex Sprite in stainless steel with the oyster bracelet, right? With the black dial, with the green and black ceramic bezel. I call it the Heineken, the monster drink. You guys call it the Sprite, right? They did it with an oyster bracelet. You know what I'm trying to say, right? How could it be? Exactly, Damon. How could it be that these motherfroggers already know that watch already is coming in Jubilee bracelet? It's unbelievable, these people. How did they know it was April the 2nd was Watches and Wonder, and on the 3rd, I got pictures. I said, man, they're doing this with an oyster bracelet, and they're doing it with a Jubilee bracelet. Come on! I bet you won't ask yourself that question. How? How was this so quick? Papi, maybe, I'm going to just say one more thing before I get into the watch market update. Maybe seriously, in the 50s, 60s, and I'm going to be kind enough to say even the 70s. Exactly, even the 70s, maybe. 50s, 60s, and 70s, I'm going to say maybe they did make watches for real over there, over there in Geneva, where they have 670 different watch factories over there. Maybe they did. But I'm telling you, man, somehow they lost. Papi, they've been suckering you guys, telling you guys that they produce 1 million Rolex watches. Don't believe that, man. They produce millions of watches. Millions. With the help of Xinjiang. Xinjiang, the Silicon Valley over there in Xinjiang. They do it over there, papi. You know what I'm talking. Listen, you gotta listen to Dr. Evil. Look what he's writing down. I'm telling you what it is. I know this is too heavy for you guys, but I already show you a thumbnail. I already show you a movement. 3135. 3135, which is one of the most popular movements that Rolex has made in muchos años. Unbelievable. And it's still in still flying around, still moving around. You know, I'm telling you what it is. So there it is. I think I've covered a lot of territory. We're gonna go into the watch market update because this is what you guys. You're right, Damon. Okay, you want me to slow down, or am I doing a good job, guys? You know, explaining to you things. Am I doing a good job? Yes or no? I don't know. I try my best. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna do that gold deep sea. You know, they weighs like around 5 pounds. That watch, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't pay more than $46,500. And dumping, dumping, dumping. You got it already, okay? Don't do it. You do whatever you want. It's your money, but don't pay more than what I just finished telling you. I'm not gonna repeat it no more. I'm not gonna repeat it no more. You do whatever you want with your money. Kino, sí, tengo que decírselo porque es mi amigo. Es retired. Me preguntó el precio de Deep Sea, de oro amarillo con la cara azul y blue ceramic. Yo se lo voy a decir. Don't do it. It's dead. That watch is dead in water. It's dead in water. It's been a terrible. I gave you my first watch market update already. The Deep Sea Rolex yellow gold, blue dial, blue ceramic bezel. Una mierda. No sirve. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our second watch of the night. It is the Rolex stainless steel blue dial, 42 millimeters Sky Dweller. You know, blue dial with an oyster bracelet. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch in the Corona era. In the Corona era, this watch, ladies and gentlemen, it went all the way up to $30,000 and $35,000. $30,000 and $35,000, ladies and gentlemen. This is an unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. Reference number 326934 with a beautiful blue dial. You know, blue dial, unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a retail price of $15,600. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to continue believing these people who have been artificially hyping up prices, that's up to you, papi. Pero tan jodido, this channel's around. This is the #1 watch market update channel in the world. We've been chosen by no other than Fudinki. You know who Fudinki is? If you don't know who Fudinki is, you Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. And neither is Sweet Kiki. He's not going to tell you. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Sky Dweller. You know, somebody told me that at one moment, that Sky Dweller stainless steel with an oyster bracelet with the blue dial was like, wow, it was a grail watch. And I've heard a couple of people tell me that watch has become a dog, you know, a dog. It's unbelievable. But, you know, I want you to know this. This is for real. I don't know if you guys know that the most advanced movement watch in the Rolex catalog, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you guys know because you guys are real smart, but I'm going to tell you. The most complicated movement out there is the Sky Dweller. The Sky Dweller has a movement que es la tranca. Es la tranca, you know? It's unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that Rolex stainless steel Sky Dweller blue dial. Don't pay more than $17,600. Dumping! 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 It's dead. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but it's dead. It's dead. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another watch, which is another embarrassment. And you can see, you know, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, the Warris Fat Bastard, you know, the Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo, Big Pun and Heavy D, the two Jehovah Witness brothers, the two Toddler Body brothers, you know, they're all together, you know, they were all together killing you guys, taking away your children's tuition money. It was disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a Patek Philippe Complications stainless steel green dial. Unbelievable, the 5905. Retail price is disgusting. $64,930. And me, and Sweet Kid Kino to me, Joaquin to you, we're gonna tell you, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, and don't pay a dollar more. I mean, you do whatever you want. And we're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Don't get that confused. Used slider. If it doesn't come with all the bells and whistles, you don't want it. You don't want it. But don't pay for that Patek complication stainless steel green dial 5905. Don't pay more than $41,000. ¡Dam! Papi, está jodido, Kino. Esto le doy un poquito más. Le doy. Que si le doy. ¡Dam! ¡Dam! You do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what we believe you should pay. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, next watch is a Rolex, a two-tone, stainless steel with rose gold. Unbelievable. I say unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, because in my time, there was no way. There will be a cold day in hell before you caught many people, rocking a two-tone watch. It was just a dog and a dog with fleas. Unbelievable. But I got to tell you the truth. This watch went all the way up to $35,000. All the way up to $35,000. They're not like us. They're not like us. And we have rules in this channel. Rules, not suggestions, rules. You saw what happened to the little boy in the Bronx, in the school. They told him he had to wear a shirt, a pair of pants, a pair of socks, and a pair of shoes. Everything had to be the same thing. And he went to school with a red pair of socks and a white socks. And they send him home. Because we got rules here, not suggestions. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. And ladies and gentlemen, that Rolex two-tone root beer, 40 millimeter. Ladies and gentlemen, reference number 126711 with a retail price of $17,500. You do whatever you want. You keep on believing these flim-flammers who have been fleecing you for too long until Sweet Kid Kino open up this channel, this organic channel. We have rules here, Dr. Evil. We have rules. And don't pay for that root beer. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that root beer. Use. But with all the bells and whistles, don't pay more than $15,900. And that dead. In a backyard pool. In a backyard septic tank and smelly. He's dead. He's dead. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel Batman oyster bracelet. Unbelievable. 40 millimeter. Unbelievable. I'm not even going to tell you the reference. This is the older reference number. Don't get it confused. But it's a Batman. It's a Batman. It's unbelievable. Oyster bracelet. GMT. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, but true. The retail price is $9,800. $9,800. The Rolex stainless steel Batman GMT oyster bracelet. Not the Jubilee. Don't get that confused. Not the Jubilee. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Batman oyster bracelet, 40 millimeter. Don't pay more than $11,900. And ¡papi! Esto se jodió, papi. Esto se jodió. La situación está mala, papá. There's no more SBA loans out there, papi. Listen to me. The only way they were able to maintain those prices is when they were giving free money out there. There's no more free money, papi. Hay que trabajar. There's no more freeloaders out there. You got to work, papi. The numbers don't match no more. When you had those PPP loans, when you had those government grants, SBA loans, protection, employment checks, papi, they were sending money out like it was a joke. Anybody can get $1 million, except Sweet Kid Kino and me, because we have to install floor tiles. That's what we do for a living. That's what we do for a living, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, la situación está jodida. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Remember, don't pay for that Batman more than $11,900 in. Okay? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a beautiful watch. It's an Adamas Piquet Royal Oak Rose Gold. Reference number 26240 with a blue dial, blue strap. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable watch. Retail price of that watch is $59,000. This watch was born with a leather bracelet strap. Okay? Don't get it confused. It's the casing is gold, rose gold with the leather buckle, all that rose gold. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to know the truth. We're talking about the 26240 blue dial, blue strap. Retail price $59,000. And I'm going to tell you because I'm stupid like that. Don't pay for that AP. And I mean, don't pay for that AP more than $67,000. And that watch is almost new. It's almost new. You do whatever you want, Scooby-Doo. The watch market is dead. He's dead. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. He's dead. It's going to have to go back. You guys don't understand this. These watch prices, when I would buy from the gray watch market, I was buying under retail. This is no BS. I was buying under retail. And it has to go back there. And it's almost there. Be patient. It's almost there. Wait till July and August gets here, Bob. It's going to get scary. You're going to get the watches you want. Hágalo lo que ustedes quieran. Hágalo lo que ustedes quieran. Hágalo lo que ustedes quieran. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch. It's the AP Royal Oak Black Ceramic, 41 millimeter. Reference number 26240CE. This watch has a retail price of $82,200. Unbelievable watch. All black ceramic. Chrono. Unbelievable watch. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the truth, and you do whatever you want. You do whatever. Hello, Doc. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that AP Royal Oak Black Ceramic. Reference number 26240CE. Don't pay more than $94,000. Dumping! We're number one. We've been chosen by no other than Fudinki as the #1 channel in the world. I got people from all over the world, from Australia, from India. Unbelievable. They love us. Italy, Norway, Canada, Inglaterra, España. Unbelievable. We're number one, ladies and gentlemen. We're number one. They can't control us no more. We're blowing up. And when this channel hits 10,000 organic subscribers, this channel, if you don't know this, will go viral. When you have 10,000 organic, not bots, organic, you will go viral. I better be quiet because they're going to fight me. No more. Later on, I'll tell you more about that. I got to be quiet. They're going to load me. I'm letting you know what's going on. Don't pay for the black ceramic AP. Don't pay more than 90. Nah, you know what I said. Don't pay more than 90. Se lo voy a bajar un poco más aquí, Se lo voy a bajar un poquito más. Don't pay more than $94,000. You do whatever you want. You do whatever. It's your money. You do whatever you want. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. It's dead. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another Patek Philippe Complications, the 5235 Rose Gold. I mean, annual calendar. This watch has a retail price of $66,010. $66,010. Unbelievable machine. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And it's sad. It has a 40.5 millimeter casing. And this watch is basically, for what I understand, it is, it's a slighter condition material watch, but it's basically new, to be honest, new. But I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you the price you shouldn't pay for this watch, your hair is going to go black. Your hair is going to blow back, and your socks are going to fall off. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Patek Complications 5235 Rose Gold with a leather strap. Don't pay more. You ready? Don't pay more than $29,000 in dumping, dumping, dumping. Dead. I know what I'm telling you, Papi. I'm number one. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Patek Philippe 5235, in the next couple of weeks, it'll drop again. It'll drop. Watch Market Day. Papi, no hay salvación. Esto se jodió, papá. Esto se jodió. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch. It's an AP Royal Oak stainless steel 15500 with a blue dial. Stainless steel, the 15500. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a blue dial. This watch in the Corona era, there were people in their Ferraris, you know, just sending in the wire for this watch, paying $80,000, $85,000, $90,000. You know, the Aramas Piquet Royal Oak Blue Dial, 15500. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. You're not gonna believe this, but it's the truth, Papi. I saw people sending away $80,000, $85,000. People were getting fat, and they were getting fat, and they were getting fat. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you this watch market, and I'm gonna tell you something about what they did to you guys in social media. Let me tell you about this 15500 blue dial. $27,800 is the retail price. And I'm going to tell you, you do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. If they ask you, how did you get that price? You said that Mr. Juan Felipe Nieves and Sweet Kikino to me, Joaquin to you gave you this price. Don't pay, and I mean don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more than $34,500. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the worst thing that happened to us was that Corona beer era. And I'm going to tell you this because we talk about a lot of things in this channel. There's this show that is like an hour only. It's an hour. It's an hour only. And I believe they're giving one of those, I think it's called Netflix. If you guys ever seen this movie, it's not even a movie, it's a documentary. It's called Liver King. Liver King. If anybody has seen this, please put it up there. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go see how they flim-flam you out of all your money. You know, in 2021, when we were all in lockdown and we had all those face masks on and all that stuff, this guy came out that he was eating liver. And that he had all these different vitamins that he was going to do. You know, and his guy was solid. You see this guy, I'm going to give you a little bit about this documentary, which you gotta see. It's called Liver King. Ay, Boliquino, yo creo que está en el tipo, el fuerte, el que se puyaba, el que se estaba puyando. Sí, el que se comía los testículos y todo. Testicles, he would even eat testicles and all that. And unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, they would show him, right? They would show him that he would be, you know, he had tied up with ropes and everything, and he would be pushing a pickup, a real big 4x4 pickup, and he's pushing it all by himself because he's real strong, the Liver King guy, you know? And then they will show you the camera to the side, and they will show two guys in the back pushing the pickup. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you. Look at this, Mr. Blair. This Mr. Blair is unbelievable. You see what I'm saying? You want to see, you want to learn, you hear Mr. Ed Blair. The Liver King. This is what social media was all about. And people were taking this man made over in that small period, because he got pinched, they got him. He must have made over, and I'm not going to say what he made personally, but the company that he had, it made over $200 million on some vitamins. They were like sugar vitamins, you know, because this guy was flim-flamming everybody, and you see him eating liver. Mr. Blair, please put something else, because these people don't believe this. It's called Liver King. It's been the biggest flim-flam you can ever see. It's only 1 hour, Papi, 1 hour. But when you finish watching that, you go, oh my God, what a sucker I've been. What a sucker. People were buying all those little, you know, those things, you know, vitamins, vitamins of, because it was liver. And he also ate, I don't know, testicles. I'm not lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, somebody help me out. Testicles he was eating. And ladies and gentlemen, this guy was rock solid, man. This guy had like a 12 pack, not a 6 pack. He had like a 12 pack. You must, after you finish watching this unbelievable Organic Watch channel, you need to go see Liver King. You know, it's unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I should tell you what it was all about, but maybe, you know, some of you are still skip hopping around through life like rabbits, and you're not going to look at it, so I'm going to tell you what it was. I'm going to tell you what it was. You know what Liver King was using to get you all fleeced and flim flam? You tell him, man. You tell him, man. He was using the big bad word in the locker room, steroids. And he got all of you. He flim flammed all of you. You know, he's unbelievable. He was a hoodwink. He was a huckster. You know, he was a scammer. He was doing in the locker room steroids, and that's how he got you guys. So you guys were taken back then in the Corona era by all these people. But I'm not gonna let you get taken no more because I'm here to help you guys out. You know, Kino, we have 54 organic subscribers, and we have 48 thumbs up. That is big time, guys. Big time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. But ladies and gentlemen, after you finish watching this, live stream, you got to go take a look at that, Liver King. Bro, let me tell you, man, this guy was unbelievable. What he would do, they even show, I don't know how they got the videos. I think when he got pinched, he had to show everything, it was all a sketch. Let's go back into the watch market update, so you guys know what's going on. Our next watch is a Rolex white gold date with an olive green dial. Reference number 228239. It has a retail price of $46,300. And in that Corona era, like the Liver King era, this watch went all the way up, all the way up to $85,000. $85,000. It's unbelievable. Many people today wish they had that money back. They really do. They really must be thinking, man, what a lollipop sucker I was. What a window licker I was. White gold, olive green dial. Date, regular date, white gold. But they plastered the green dial and that was it. It went all the way up. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than, you do whatever you want. And you want a full set. If it ain't full set, you don't want it. You don't want it. Full set, full lengths, everything. Don't pay more than $35,000. And that he did. In a backyard pool and floating face down like this. Liver King, baby. Liver King. You need to watch Liver King so you can learn. So you can learn. The world is a big lie. And we love to be lied to. We love to be lied to. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an AP Royal Oak stainless steel 41mm blue dial perpetual calendar. This watch, this AP Royal Oak stainless steel with a blue dial perpetual annual calendar. I don't know what it was. It was unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment was over $300,000. Stainless steel, Bobby, people were going crazy with their money, man. People were going nuts. And me and Sweet Kid Kino would just look, go, wow. And you should see the way they were. They were happy. They felt powerful. They felt like a man. They felt, but they were a bunch of, bunny rabbits. They were bunny rabbits, Bunny rabbits. They would say, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, give me your thing. I'm going to send you right now the wire. Walrus Fat Bastard here. The Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo. Trucking sweat stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears. Small little feet, small little hands with skin tight leotard jeans. Give it away. They were giving it away, Papi, giving it away. Unbelievable. They were giving it away. Unbelievable. AP Royal Oak stainless steel blue dial perpetual calendar. Retail price $114,800. $800. And I'm going to have to tell you the sad truth. If you're one of those people that spend it $300,000 for that watch, I'm going to have to tell you, don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $95,000 in debt. You do whatever you want. I'm going to talk to you about the last watch of the evening. The last watch of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been working real hard. I've been telling you, something like Tiger King, but this one is Liver King, Papi. I'm telling you, this is Liver King. When you see this Liver King, you're going to remember the part that I'm telling you. They have him all strapped, with ropes. And he's pushing this big, pickup. And he's pushing it. He's pushing it. Liver King, Liver King, liver. I eat livers. I eat testicle. 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 You know what I'm trying to say. Testicles. You have one. I have one. Well, I don't know if you have. But anyway, testicles. He weighed testicles, and he was pushing that big truck. And in the back, there were not two, three. I said it wrong. Not two, three pushing it for him. Papi, social media will get you, and they'll give you the logo deep, real deep. Real deep. I mean, you do whatever you want. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch. It's an unbelievable watch. It's the H. Muser. Muser. The Muser. Unbelievable watch, The H. Muser and C. Pioneer. Oh my God. Cylinder turbo skeleton, reference number 3811-1200, ladies and gentlemen. It's an unbelievable, this watch. Tourbillon, Tourbillon. Unbelievable. Somebody requested this watch, so I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you real good, because you want to get it. You want to continue maintaining these people's lifestyle, I understand you want to continue maintaining their red gold fast car, their Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, their ripped jeans, their Montclair sweaters, the Supreme hoodies. You understand me? I know you like that. That sushi dinner, that $17,000 steak dinner with the Fred Flintstone barbecue bone in your mouth, in and out, for that guy with the white t-shirt, sunglasses, dark tan, paddock on his hand. He's unbelievable. And he does that thing with the salt. I know you like all that stuff. I know you like all that stuff. I know you want to keep on maintaining them. Now when we finish here, you go over there and you maintain them. They throw salt on you, $17,000. You know why they were spending $17,000 on those steak dinners? Because they were getting PPP loans. 5 million, 3 million, 4 million, SBA loans. It was a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, this H. Muser, the C. Pioneer, cylindrical, tourbillon, it's unbelievable. Skeleton, reference number 3811, unbelievable. This watch was released I believe in el 2022, in the 2022, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a retail price of $89,000 plus your Uncle Sam's taxes. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do. Thank you very much, Damon. Thank you so much. And thank you very much, Damon, for the support. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. It has a 42.5 millimeter casing. It has a rubber strap. It's unbelievable, It's for people that drive Ferraris, Ferrari Italia, Enzo, F40s, F60s, pushing the button, give away all your money. Give it away. Like the red hot chili pepper. Give it away. Unbelievable. Give it away. Chili peppers, chili pepper. Come on, give it away. So don't pay for that H. Muser. Don't pay. I mean, you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that H. Muser. don't pay more than $38,000 and dropping. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you enjoyed this watch market update and you had a lot of fun like I had. I had a lot of fun doing this watch market update. I really did. I think it's my duty to let you know what's going on in the watch world. I know that none of your favorite Muppet Boiler Room channels are gonna, tell you the things that we will, but we don't have no interest in you. We're not doing no liver king on you guys. We're not spoofing you here. None of that stuff. So this is what we do. So we get happy when we get a thumbs up. We get very, very happy, very excited, and very appreciative of that because it keeps us going. If we don't get no likes, if we don't get a subscribe, what are we doing? We're not doing nothing. They don't care about us. They don't care what we're telling them. They want to continue, licking on the lollipop. They want to continue licking the window. So when you guys give us a like, that gives us a lot of power. A lot of power to bring you more knowledge. And let me tell you guys, I can basically give you knowledge. I don't know, 3 times a week, but I don't know if you guys are prepared for all this. I don't know if you guys are prepared for all this. As you know, we have a private watch group under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. It's on Facebook. You scroll down to about, and you're gonna find their Opus and Time watches, and maybe Samantha and Sweet Kikino let you in. They're the ones that have all that. They control all that stuff, and try your best. I wanna, I wanna, thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for supporting our channel, and I mean supporting us just by you guys being here. It means a lot to us. I hope you guys are learning, along the way, and again, thank you so much for everything, for all your support, just being here is support, right, guys? Kino, ¿tiene algo que decir? So, guys, like me and Sweet Kikino say every week, take care and brush your hair. Peace to all of you. Thank you for everything.